And we are live. I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Paul and Rick talk about escape room and puzzle games. We've advertised it as escape room games, but some of these games that we're covering today are more puzzly type games than escape room games. Rick's going to talk to you for a minute while I get the chat working.
Right, so if you can see in front of us, we've got a few examples of kind of games that we've found that fit into the categories. We've got an Unlock, you've got Mystery House, you've got Escape Room in a Box, The Werewolf Experiment, you've got Exit.
The big one. Most people will know Exit, I think.
Yeah. Adventure games, Deckscape, Undo, Escape Tales, loads of different types of games that we've been looking at. So I think what we're going to do is have just a quick chat about each of the games, their pros and the cons, things that we think make them good, things that make them not so good, what we like about them, what we don't like about them. And
there you go, we're live. Jay's here as well, Brett's here, Matt's here, Lone Jedi's here, lots of people are here.
hey.
Thank you for joining in. Yeah, so we're going to cover the ones we've played.
Yes.
There are lots of other types of escape room games out there.
Some cheaper ones, some expensive ones.
Exit was one of the first, but there were ones before Exit. There was Escape the Room, or Escape Room the Game. We've not played them, so we're not going to cover everything here. We are just going to cover the ones that we've played, but this will give you a bit of an introduction to it. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody who's watching live. Now, I normally do a monthly live Q&A. I'm not doing one this month. And every month in my live Q&A, I give away £25 worth of game vouchers from Games Law. So this show that we're doing tonight is replacing the live Q&A for this month, but you can still win £25 worth of game vouchers. And we've done something a bit special. This is Rick's idea, so if it's rubbish, blame him, but it's not rubbish. By the end of this video, you will have a 4-digit code. You need to email me that 4-digit code to paul.grogan@outlook.com. And if you think you know what the 4-digit code is now, you don't, okay? But by the end of this video, you will have a 4-digit code. Mail me that 4-digit code. If you're a Patreon supporter, mention that in the email as well. And I'll do the random draw probably tomorrow morning or tonight, depending on, Normally half of the emails go to spam, so I have to go fishing them out of spam. So yeah, Nilsson's here as well. Thank you to everybody who's joining in the chat. And if you're watching this afterwards, this video is going to be on YouTube afterwards. So hello to everybody who's watching afterwards. Let us know in the comments what you think. Right.
And too late as well. Too late for the competition.
Yeah, you can't join the competition. You've got to be watching this live to basically join in the competition. Or tonight. If you watch this live, if you watch this back tonight, that's fine. I'll do the draw tomorrow morning. Okay.
Right, shall we start with Exit?
Let's start with Exit. Because Exit was one of the first ones that came out. I think, so it's Cosmos.
Yep. About the same time as Unlock, the first one, I think.
Yeah, now 3 of them came out. When Exit came out, it was 3 of them.
This was one of them.
At the same time.
Secret Lab was one of them.
And there's loads.
The cabin, Abandoned Cabin.
Abandoned Cabin, that's one of the first ones I've done.
Yeah.
Secret Lab, 2016. So Secret Lab, Abandoned Cabin, and the Pharaoh's Tomb were the first 3 that came out, all in 2016. Then there was the Forbidden Castle, Dead Man on the Orient Express, Polar Station, Forgotten Island, Sinister Mansion, Sunken Treasure, Mysterious Museum, and then the Catacombs of Horror, which has just come out, which is a big one. It's a double box. We've got it over there.
Can we show?
Yeah, just for a size comparison. So they're all in the same size box as this, except for Catacombs of Horror, which is a double size one.
I haven't done that. Have you done that one?
I've not done that one yet. No. So there's lots of these out. There's about 12 of them out. They say for 1 to 6 players, and that's the first thing I want to talk about, because I would never want to do one of these games with probably more than 3.
No, I mean, whenever I do these, I normally do them 2 to 4 at the most, I reckon. Normally like 2 couples if I've got people over.
Yeah.
We'll play them together to do them together, but majority of the time we do them as a couple.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 players. And the reason for that is, obviously you're all looking at the cards and you're trying to solve the puzzles and things like that. If you go 5 or 6 people, 2 people are just, they're not going to get a look in.
I find that the same in a real escape room as well. If you go into a real escape room with 6 people, some people can just be standing around while other people are resolving all the puzzles.
There isn't enough to do to split up between all of the people. So yeah, that's what it says on the box. Now in terms of time, it says
1 to 2 hours on this one.
That's about right.
Yeah, it'll be 1 to 2 hours because they've got a potential time limit of an hour, like a lot of these things.
Yeah, but the time limit is
it's a scoring system.
It's a scoring system, yeah. So yeah, 1 to 2 hours is what it says. We've done some of the exit ones in 45 minutes, and we've done other ones in about an hour and a half. I don't think any of them have taken us 2 hours to do.
No, not like really long time.
Yeah.
I've played 6 of them, I think.
Okay.
What I've done is every time I played them is I've gone all out and cut everything up.
Yeah.
Tore things, scribbled on
that's
stuff.
One of the things we're going to talk about is, and actually Jay's mentioned this in the chat, as a collector and has a bit of OCD, truly horrifying. I'm with you, Jay. The fact of cutting up something that I've bought is, and the fact that I like to then lend these out to people, and I put them in the games library for people to borrow. So I have played, or me and Vicky have probably played maybe 5, maybe 6 of them. We haven't destroyed a single component.
Whereas I have.
No.
I did it on purpose, though. I did it on purpose to cut them up because I was thinking, well, I've bought this. It's
yours.
£11, £12 perhaps. If I go to the cinema, it's £11, £12 each in Exeter. Other places it's cheaper. But if I'm getting an hour, hour and a half of entertainment out of it, and it's part of it is doing that, I'm just going to do it anyway. Now that's again bad for the environment, people are saying as well, because
that is the other thing that Chris Stanton said on the BGG Guild is about the fact that the games is not sustainable. You're buying a disposable product that you play and then you throw away. And he was sort of remarking that that's not a good thing.
It's certainly not something that happens in the board game world, is it?
No.
I mean,
all of these games, and we haven't said this at the start, they are play once games. Every single one of the ones that we're doing here is a play once game for you, because once you've solved those puzzles, you can't really do them again. Now, if you were to wait 5 years, you've probably forgotten most of it, but there's so many available. Why would I go back and do one that I've played 4 years ago? Because halfway through, I'll probably remember, oh yeah, the door with the number 17 on it. Yeah. You know, you can't forget certain things. So they're all play once games for you, but the exit ones, if you play them properly, as it suggests you do, you will be cutting out things, you'll be folding things, you'll be punching things through, you'll be ripping things up.
Yeah.
I've managed to play it without doing that.
But
so
much like a legacy game.
Much like a legacy game.
You can do that. You would stick stickers on things, you would rip open boxes, you would...
But you can't get through a legacy game without putting stickers on them.
Okay.
So you're hinting that you enjoyed the games more than me because you got to rip things up.
Potentially. Well, I felt like I was having the experience that they wanted me to have.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah. I think, to be honest, those times in the exit games where we went, oh right, here's a page with some coloured squares on which we're going to have to cut up. I'll now trace that and copy it onto paper and colour them in, and then cut that up.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was, I can't really give any spoilers away, but
that kind of thing.
It probably would have been more fun, or it would have been easier to do just to cut it up and just to do what it says. But we didn't. But the advantage is I've lent them out to a few other people. So yeah, you can get by without doing it. Ben says he's found the exit game so much more forgettable than the unlock games. Interesting. Daryl is here as well. Though the exit games are much more consistent. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Adam's here as well.
Yeah, with the consistency, is that due to that the puzzle rondel that it has?
Possibly.
They all have that same disc thing. When you'll see when you play one of them, but they have shapes that you find throughout the game, and then they link through the puzzles all together. So if you played the first one, you sort of know what you're going to go into with the next one with periphery storyline.
Just notice the Facebook chat is empty. If you're watching this on Facebook, please pop a message in there to let me know if that's working or not. That's the box over there next to me is empty. Andy457 is saying you don't get to experience the exit puzzles if you don't use the components.
There you go.
I do experience them. I might only experience them 95%, but I still experience the games and I still enjoy them.
You still solve the puzzle.
I still solve the puzzles. We still thoroughly enjoy it. It's just sometimes it's a little bit of hassle, but I think that's worth it to keep the game. Now, the other thing about the exit games, no app.
No app?
You do not need an app for this game. Some of them you do. And that's why we're highlighting it. You don't need the internet. You can take this away with you on holiday and play it, because the hint system in it is all done with cards. So there are usually 10 puzzles in the game.
Yep.
Each one has 3 hints. So you will have a deck for puzzle number 1, hint number 1. And that'll give you a little bit of a pointer. And then if you're still stuck, you'll get the next one. And then the third clue for each puzzle actually just gives you the answer. So you won't actually get stuck with the game because it used a card system. So it isn't app driven.
No. So it won't have that kind of any errors in an app either. Everything's all in the box, and you can take it away somewhere.
So you say that.
Well,
errors in an app can be fixed.
True.
Errors in one of these can't be fixed.
Correct.
Once it's been printed and it's done,
it's out there.
It's out there.
I used to do a second.
Whereas one of the early unlocks had an error in the app, and they fixed it within a week, and all of a sudden it's all working fine. So yeah, you can fix things. Anyway, we've talked a bit about Exit. Comments that we had on the Facebook group is Anthony's basically, well, Christine was talking about the fact that would you suggest photocopying the cards and book and cutting them out? Different people have different opinions. Personally, I will do that for the reasons that I have. Rick doesn't for different reasons. Anthony's saying that they tried the Exit games and it did take away from the game. So Anthony's with you.
There you go.
And Andy457.
Depends how you feel, I think, about certain things.
But Anthony has said we prefer Unlock for that reason because it's easier to pass on. So whilst Anthony is saying that he did enjoy the Exit games, he tried to preserve the Exit games and therefore it took away from the game. That's why he prefers Unlock. So let's now talk about Unlock.
I'm a big fan of Unlock.
Me too.
I really like Unlock.
We do have to say a little bit of a caveat before we talk about Unlock, because we both like the game. I'm the English editor for the Unlock games, and I have been for a while. And actually, Rick's been doing it as well for the last 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So there are 6 boxes of this out at the moment. Box 7 is on the way. And me and Rick are basically professionally involved in these games in that we check them, we test them, we make sure they work, we give lots of feedback. We don't just edit the text. We're not just proofreading, we're actually testing the scenarios and we're feeding back, this was too hard, this was too easy. We're doing that. And we've been doing that now for about, we've done the last 3 boxes. So Unlock ones, there were, and this is going to sound wrong, the ones before we got involved were a bit all over the place. Some of them were quirky and wonky.
Yeah.
One of them in particular got...
In the second box,
second box, the Nautilus one.
Yeah, the Nautilus one.
What somebody said in the chat earlier on was that they can be a bit all over the place. They're less consistent than the Exit ones. Now I think the consistency is
it's
there.
improved, yeah, definitely.
So Unlock, again, 1 to 6 players, 2 to 6 players. In fact, it's 1 to 6 players for most of them.
This one in particular.
But there's 3 scenarios per box, unless you're in America, in which case they release them individually. Not quite sure why. But one of the scenarios
individually in the UK as well. Tesco.
Oh, right. Tesco have them.
Yeah.
I didn't
individually.
Know. Wow. Okay.
Randomly.
One of the scenarios in the original box needs a minimum of 2 players, but the rest of them can be played solo. Each scenario is 60 cards and an app. You need an app.
Yep, need to have the app.
You need to have the app, but it's 60 cards and that's it. There's no other components, just the 60 cards.
Some have extra components.
Oh yeah, some of them do.
Yes.
But you won't destroy anything. It's all purely on the cards.
There'll be a little bit of card or something with there to go with it, a little prop, but then you use that and you don't destroy it.
Yeah, you don't destroy anything. So Unlock, you can definitely lend to your friends. A lot of people have been buying this, playing through them and then selling them on for £5 less.
I did that with the original ones I did.
Okay,
yeah,
so you've got, it's effectively cost you £5 to do 3 escape room games. Now, the Unlock scenarios, one of them has taken us 45 minutes and another one took us 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
They vary, I think, a lot in difficulty more than the Exit ones.
They've got a difficulty scaling as part of them, haven't they? They've normally got X number of padlocks.
It's not very good, though.
To tell you how hard a version is. They normally scale, you do the first one as easier, middle, hard.
Yeah.
In a box, each one has.
That was about right.
An easy, medium, and a hard every 3 scenarios.
Yeah. I'm just going to get the YouTube chat up on my iPad because it is flying by a bit past. So Ben said Scott says Unlock has had a massive upswing in quality in the last few boxes.
It's not us, I'm honest.
No, we didn't design any of the scenarios. No. We can't take any of the credit for the creative factors behind the scenarios, but we've tested them and tried to make sure they're as good as they can be. So speaking of each one comes with a difficulty rating. In fact, the Exit ones come with a difficulty rating
as well. They do, with 4 different things.
Yeah. And the one in the original box was difficulty rating 1, 2, and 3, which is about right, okay? The one in the latest box, which isn't out yet, one scenario is difficulty 1, another one is difficulty 2, and another one is difficulty 3. And that is because in each box they have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Yeah. However, and I've said this to them, and I hope they don't mind me saying this here, they were all about 1.25.
They weren't particularly
all
hard.
3 of the scenarios in box 7 are about the same difficulty level, but yet they're labelled as 1, 2, and 3. So take the difficulty settings with a pinch of salt.
I guess it depends on how many you play as well. If you've played a load of escape games, I feel that with actual real escape rooms, because I've done quite a few of them now. The more you do...
The last one we did was in, done, out.
Yeah, the more you do, the better you get at it, because you sort of...
Which means the less you enjoy
mindset.
It?
Well, it depends, really. Sometimes it's good to win something really well.
It's true, but sometimes you feel, oh, we did that in 30 minutes.
I mean, it's great when I'd go to an escape room and I get out with 59 minutes and 30 seconds in. It's like, oh, wow, we just about it. That's a well-designed escape room, I find.
Yeah.
It's you've got exactly the right amount of money and time to line you up to leave right as your clock was ticking down. It's exciting.
Yeah, right. So a comment from Ben said, Scott, the exit ones are very limited by what they can do because of the wheel, whereas Unlock has the app. Yeah, so the downside of Unlock is it requires an app. For me, that's not a downside.
No, I don't.
You don't require an internet connection. You just need to download the app and you can play with the app. The advantage of the app, as Ben is saying, you can do a whole variety more stuff.
Yep, I think they've done some augmented reality stuff now, haven't they?
The augmented reality was very cool.
Yeah, it's really clever.
The augmented reality. Oh dear. Right. Yeah. So the augmented reality. Yeah. Was very cool. Basically, you'll use your phone and you'll put it over a card, and then it will show you something. It'll change. It'll change what you see. Clever. Very, very cool. And they use that quite a lot in box 5.
The one with the computer game one.
I think that was used in box 5 quite a bit.
Insert coin.
Yes. So that was very cool. Uwe's here wishing the best to everybody, whatever you expect. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you for your season's greetings or holiday wishes, whatever, because some people don't do Christmas like me. Anyway, right, so that's Unlock. Have we talked enough about that? No.
One thing I wanted to mention was the fourth wall.
The fourth wall.
There's a little bit of fourth wall breaking. Not in all of the scenarios and not all the time, but it's one of the things which I think turned off some people.
It did. There was a lot of criticism about that.
People couldn't work it out and people just got angry.
It was one of the puzzles from the original box. And I remember some reviewers saying it made them feel like they just wanted to throw the game in the bin and never play another one.
Yeah, which is not great for the first box.
No, I think that has gone.
Yeah.
And that exact same thing has been used in an exit scenario at some point as well.
Okay. Yeah. I think it depends. Some people can really like it. And if you get it early, straight away, you go,
I hated it.
Wow, that's amazing. Other people,
I hated it. Yeah. I hated it. When I'm playing an escape room game, I want to be immersed in the escape room. I don't want to be, as you say, it's breaking the fourth wall and it's hard to explain.
Without spoilers.
Yeah. Without spoilers, but something that takes you outside of the game.
Yeah.
It's like if you've played Time Stories, and I don't want to give any spoilers away about Time Stories, but the first scenario in Time Stories, the solution to the puzzle is actually a real world instruction that's nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
It's like, right, now go and call for a pizza in the middle of a 1920s French asylum.
Yeah.
It's odd. And yeah, that is a bit of a problem. So yeah. Ben Ted Scott says the video game was brilliant, as was the Challenger Arabian Nights one. Nautilus one was the worst escape room ever. Yeah, the Nautilus one is the one we're referring to as. I would avoid that one. In fact, there's so many of them available now. There's going to be 7 boxes. That's 21 scenarios. Just avoid the Nautilus one.
Some of the newest ones are really good as well. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, and we're saying that as people. The thing is, as I say, we tested them, so we've enjoyed testing them, and we've helped make them better. But we didn't design the scenarios, and they are good. The Sherlock Holmes one was really good as well.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that one. Anyway, right, that's a bit about Unlock. Adam is saying, I find some of the Unlock games a bit too difficult because they try to be overly clever and hard to work out for casual gamers. Yeah, so the hint system in Unlock is done by the app. It's very much a tiered system, a bit like Exit. You ask for hint number 1 and it gives you a bit of a hint. And then if you're still stuck, you go for hint number 2. And there was a time in the past where the hints weren't very clear.
Nope.
Hopefully now the hints are better because me and Rick have edited all of the text in the app. as well as what's on the card.
I think they've changed, or they used to have the hidden numbers thing in Unlock, didn't they? Which a lot of people didn't like
The
either.
hidden numbers it's not in there in the exit games, is it? I don't think it is.
Don't think so.
No.
Not in
So
the
yeah,
same
there are literally
in
hidden
the
numbers.
card.
Seventh Continent has it as well. I don't mind it, but in the original one, some of the numbers were very hard to see.
Yeah, and that's what annoyed people. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, right. So that's Unlock. What should we talk about next?
What should we talk about next? Well,
let's talk about Deckscape.
Deckscape.
That's one of the.
Where is he? Is he hidden down there in front there?
It's a little box.
A little one. It's a cute little one.
So I've played one of these.
I've done two.
I've played this one, and I don't ever want to play another one, which is why I've only played one.
I did that one. I did the second one, the one based in London.
Right. So you tell people what you thought about them first, and I'll look up how many of them there are.
I think there's more than you think. I think
There is. I
five
saw
or six
earlier
or
on.
so now. It's pocket based, which is good. Therefore, you can again easily travel around with it. But it's quite simple. I found it. The puzzle's quite simple. The format's quite simple. All it is a deck of cards. Whereas with Unlock, it's a deck of cards and the app. With Exit, it's all the booklets and the rondel and all that kind of stuff. With Deckscape, all it is a deck of cards. And you normally turn a card over, and you've got a puzzle. Solve the puzzle, turn a card over, get to the next puzzle. Until you've gone through the deck, and that's it. There's a loose storyline going along with it, but I didn't...
A very loose
I
storyline.
didn't feel like...
Deckscape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's all right. It's not the worst thing in the world, but when there's a million escape
Yeah.
rooms out there, let's play one which is better.
Yeah, there's 6 or 7, and apparently there's a dual one coming out next year.
And they're quite cheap.
They are quite cheap. This was about £10, £12, something like that.
And you don't break anything.
You don't break anything, but for me, when I'm playing these escape room style puzzle games, I want a puzzle that is a bit more involved in spot the number of differences between these two cards, which is what one of them was. Now, some of them in there were proper puzzles, but some of them were very much...
But again, if it's the first one they've done, like if you only did the first Unlock they did, it might be worth...
I have only done the first one, but did you feel the second one was a bigger step
Possibly,
forward?
yeah, a little bit better in the fact that it was based in London, had a bit more of a storyline going with it. And I think there's some others as well.
The storyline was sort of there, but was a bit weak. Then again, there isn't much story in any of them. There's a bit of story in them.
Unlock has bits of story, don't they? Tell
True.
a story as you go through. When we got onto Mystery House, that has a lot more story in it.
Oh, Matt is here in the Facebook chat. Hi, Matt. Thank you for joining in and being the one person in the Facebook chat. Yeah, I mean, the YouTube chat is obviously the most popular one. I just wanted to make sure it was working. Right, so Adam is saying, after some of the puzzles in Unlock, he thought, yeah, that's super clever. But some people were like, what? How are we ever meant to get that?
Yeah.
Certainly, going back to Nautilus again, we had to get the answers to some of the puzzles in Nautilus and went, oh my God, yeah, we'd never done that. And in fact, there was one of the ones from Box 5 that we both tested that we strongly recommended they reduce the difficulty on, because it was like, it took us over 2 hours and our brains were absolutely melted. And it required you to think,
too much.
Yeah, too much. So we asked them to change that. Whether they did or not, who knows. The Kaleido Cards is saying the clue stroke puzzle outside of the game was a clever idea, but like you say, broke the theme of the game. Yeah. Numbers and clues hidden on the card are problems for people with visual impairments.
Correct.
Yeah, I have to go and get my strong glasses. Jay says he played a Deckscape game the other day, the one regarding a magic show, and he said it was pretty good. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll give another one of those.
But then Ben says Deckscape has had the biggest drop off in quality for me.
Oh right, so Ben's saying that it got even worse.
It's going the other way.
And Adam's saying that he knows somebody who bought 9 of those over at Essen, even though there's only 7.
Maybe bought one of them three times.
Right, so that's Deckscape. I'm not the biggest fan, but I might give another one a go. Right. Next, let's talk about Journal 29.
Journal 29.
So we've got 2 black books here, and this is actually Journal 29 Revelation.
Which is the second one.
Which is the second one. So Journal 29 was a puzzle book that came out. It was on Kickstarter.
It was. Yeah, then released.
And who told us about it?
Loads of people chat about it on the Facebook group, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about it
when it came out.
And me and Vicky, it has to be said, we both grew up playing point and click computer games. We like puzzles, we like solving puzzles, we like real escape rooms. So anything puzzly we like. So that's why we like these games. So we got Journal 29, which we have now finished. Have you finished it?
Yeah, me and my Victoria.
Yeah.
We went through it.
It's Vicky's everywhere.
We really liked it.
The first one.
Yes.
Have you done the second one?
I haven't done the second one.
Right.
No, that was a Kickstarter. Did you do Kickstarter?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
so
did.
We've not done the second one, but we did the first one. So you really liked it.
I really liked it. It took us ages.
Yeah. Well, it took us about a year and a half.
Yeah, over the period of 5 months or whatever.
Yeah.
When we go out places, just the two of us, we take it with us and sat in waiting rooms or whatever, flicking through, solving the puzzles together. But I think it's very clever. Some, as you say, I think quite obtuse puzzles, but I think that's the idea. It's not meant to be sat down and done in half an hour.
So you say you took this with you and you sat in waiting rooms and did it.
Yeah.
But this needs an app. Well, no,
it's a website.
It doesn't need an app. It needs a website.
You put the code in, the thing is the website.
So
you've got it back.
The book itself contains puzzles. There's one puzzle on each page. But once you have solved the puzzle, you have to go to a website, put in the answer to the puzzle, and then it will tell you whether you're correct or not, and it will give you a word.
Yeah.
And you write that word down, and that word will then be useful later on. So yeah, the actual puzzle book you can take with you anywhere, and you can try and solve it. But yeah, to actually get the answers to it, hint system.
There's a forum on the website.
It's basically a forum on their website. That is the hint system.
Well, in case if no one put anything on there, then there's no hints.
But there is.
But there is now because when it came out,
you were none. So I liked Journal 29, but we ended up getting quite frustrated with it in the end. Me more than Vicky. Because some of the puzzles were so obtuse, and you literally look at a page and there's stuff on it with no clue, no hint, no direction as to what you're supposed to be doing. Just, here you go, here's some stuff.
It did feel like a Mensa test a lot of the time. It's like, here's something crazy, work it out. And you have to go like, what?
And 1 in 10, probably, we had some idea of what we were supposed to do. The rest of them, we just had absolutely no idea whatsoever. And after 20 minutes of just effectively doing nothing, we went onto the website and we started reading the hints. And the first hint on this forum was normally no help whatsoever.
Well, they probably don't want to give...
No,
I know. Sort of like didn't want to give you the answer, did they? I think the people on the forums...
But it was still... the hint... As I said, it's not a hint system. It's forum responses put on by fans. And in the end, probably half of the puzzles in there we just could not do, and we had to get the answers to them. So whilst I enjoyed it, some of them were just way too hard. Some of the puzzles in some of the other ones are a little hard, but with the hint system we can get there. We did one of the exit games once with no hints whatsoever. Whereas another one we had quite a few hints. But Journal 29, the downside for me was the fact that it was just too obscure and too hard. And when we're sat there for half an hour
struggling
together,
on one
just
page.
struggling and getting absolutely nowhere,
can be a bit frustrating.
and then having to look up a hint, and then the next one stuck again absolutely nowhere. So I found them particularly hard.
They had one where we had to download and play an audio clip off the website, and we were again on that page for like 3 hours because we couldn't understand what the audio clip said. Over and over and over again, listening to the same 5-second clip of audio.
Dave's in the Facebook chat. Is Journal 29 any more than a sequence of challenging puzzles you could do on your own? No, that's exactly what it is. It is a series of puzzles. It starts off it starts off easy, and they get a bit harder. But once you're a third of the way through, they're all super rock hard.
Puzzles is an interesting term with these because it's more like a metaphor for things sometimes, and it's sort of like it's less of a puzzle, more of an abstract. And you have to try and work out what the word is from what it says there. So it's strange.
But it's definitely not an escape room game. It's definitely a puzzle game.
No, but
there isn't really a story. But then let's move on to this next one, because this is also in a black book, exactly the same size. But it's not by the same people.
No, but this is Escape from the Room, The Curse of Old Maid Millie.
We've started this one.
Yeah, which is a lot more story. So this starts with a story, and you've got a plot, and you're into a certain place, and you have to work out. But again, each page has its own unique puzzle, and it works more like a choose your own adventure book. In fact, once you resolve the thing, you don't go to the next page. You go on 40 pages onto that one, and then when you do that one, you go back 30 pages, and you get items and which you can log.
Let's just hold this up.
Yep.
I'll hold this up. If you want to hold up something else, maybe.
Yeah.
On screen, maybe. There you go. So that's this one. We've only played this for about hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours. and we've enjoyed it so far. The advantage of this is that you can take this anywhere. It doesn't require any app, doesn't require any internet connection. Nope. Everything you need is purely in here. There is a bit of a story involved. The downside is, whereas in Journal 29, you literally go from one puzzle, once you've solved it, you go on to the next one. This, we were flipping back and forth.
Right.
And we had to keep track of,
yeah,
because the picture of the cupboard is on that page, but then that's on that page, and the map's on and we had to keep flipping back and forth. So we've only just started this. You've not played it yet.
Well, I'm probably about a quarter of the way through.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've started it.
We'll move on for that one, but that is another one that we've both started playing. Right, let's talk about Mystery House. Because this is just out.
It's good.
A lot of people don't actually know about that one. There we go. I'll put that there so nobody can see it. Let's put it down here. Right, yeah. This is just out, and this is quite different. And this is from Cranio Creations, another publisher that does Euro games.
Right, okay.
Like Board and Dice. We're going to get to Escape Tales in a minute. Publisher does Euro games, but suddenly branching out, doing something else. I'm going to actually open up Mystery House because it would be easier to show you than it would be to explain it. Now, do you want to talk a little bit about
Adam asks why I held up a piece of paper.
Oh, Adam says, why did Rick hold up a piece of paper? I'm not sure why Rick held up a piece of green paper.
Maybe you need to watch the video again.
Maybe you need to watch the video from the start.
Better hurry. Cause
when we say that by the end of this video, you will have a 4-digit code.
Somehow,
by the end of this video, you will have a 4-digit code. And you need to drop me a message. Drop me an email, paul.grogan@outlook.com. with that 4-digit code. Right, do you want to talk about this while I get it?
Yeah, this is Mystery House. So, it's the first ever 3D escape room in a box. That's its official blurb. Can we get it out of the box? It says, what, 1 to 4?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't play it one player, I don't think.
No, but I wouldn't play any of these one player.
No, it's true.
But definitely not this one.
But not definitely this one, because this one's quite clever. This uses a selection of cards and little cardboard, I'd say, walls and doors to create the effect of a 3D labyrinth maze
that very well here, aren't I?
You're traversing through as part of the escape room, and you have to get into the labyrinth, find out the resolution of the puzzles, get items, use items. It is app driven, but it's really clever. And the puzzles are quite fiendish, some of them. Some are easy, some are hard.
So there we go. Right, finally managed to get it open. So yeah, that is what comes with the game.
Boxes.
And then you have the scenario packs. And there are 2 scenario packs included in there. And without giving too many spoilers away, a scenario pack comes with a whole host of these things here that you slot in to a position on here. And there'll be loads of these slotted in. And then what you do is you look through here and you're seeing things. And obviously, if you've got one thing in front of another, you won't be able to see it. So you might see a door, and there might be a code on the door, and then you'll look around and you'll see other things, and eventually you'll work out the code, and you'll put that into the app, and the app will say, remove M6. So you'll take it out, and now all of a sudden,
the door is open.
I can now see what's behind the door. Very cool, very clever, different.
Very clever. Yeah, very different.
And certainly for me, the most, obviously doing physical stuff feels like you're more involved in it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, you are just looking at cards and looking at numbers.
You're opening a door.
With this one, I mean, we're currently, believe it or not, we're in the studio where we have good lighting. We played this one downstairs in our dining room where the lighting isn't quite as good as the studio. So things were a bit dark.
Well, I was using a torch.
We were using a torch.
Yeah, torch.
So we couldn't actually see, because they were really dark, we couldn't actually see what was on the things. And we were using a torch to peer through. And it was extremely atmospheric.
Yeah,
you
really,
actually
really cool.
were looking through and going, oh, I can see something over there.
An evil house.
That was quite cool. The scenario, we played 4 players. It took us about an hour and a half.
And you used a Lazy Susan. So
we used a Lazy Susan.
The house
so
around.
we played 4 players, and each of us was looking through one of the sides of the house. And then every few minutes, we'd turn it round so that people could see things that other people wouldn't see. So that's what we were doing. Yeah, torches required. Nilsson played it with us. The downside of the game, and I have to mention this, is the app hasn't been translated properly at all. Now, Cranio told me today, I've had an email from them today that they are fixing it. which is good. Because although the app was fine and there were no problems with the app, oh no, there was, which they fixed. There was a bug, which they fixed. The language was awful. It's literally been Google translated, full of typos, and that for us, because I know how easy it is to fix something like that.
That's going to annoy you more than
it annoys me more than most other people. Yeah, I mean, even the word mystery house in the app is spelt wrong. And it's like, it's embarrassing. So yeah, they're going to fix it, so that's fine. Don't let that put you off the game. The game's still perfectly playable.
As you said earlier, the app can be updated.
Yeah, the app
all the
can
cards
be
are fine. The physical components are fine. It's just the app which is just not right.
So only 2 scenarios out for that at the moment. The people I've spoken to in the reviews I've watched have been pretty positive.
I mean, is it the manual that's got a third scenario, or the app? The app's got a third scenario, but
has it?
Yeah.
Oh right.
But it's not with the box. I don't know if it's a tutorial one they have in demos or anything like that.
So that's Mystery House from Cranio. Right.
That's 2 thumbs up for that one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Dave says, looks really clever concept looking through doors. Yeah. Again, there's so many escape rooms out now. I think it's not important to do something different. Because to be honest, if another company started doing exit games, I'd buy them and play them, even if they were exactly the same. But, as I say, played it with Nilsson and Vashti and Vicky, and we were peering through. It was really cool.
It's really cool.
I struggled because of my eyesight. I couldn't see anything properly, but
one of the things you said as well, where you shine a torch on it, that it's like gloss card.
The cards should have been matte.
So sometimes it reflects the torch, so you can't actually see what you're looking at.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a problem.
Why would you release an app that spells your own game wrong? Yep.
Very good question.
Yeah. What did you think about the expandability of Mystery House? Well, yeah, you just buy another one of these.
Yeah.
That's it. This is the scenario pack. You'll just buy another one of them. I'm gonna guess $10, maybe.
You'd hope so.
And then the app will just be updated for free, and then there you go. So, yeah, very much expandable. You've played both of them?
Yep.
Right, I've only played one of them. I've played Family Portrait.
Family Portrait.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, a bit of a creepy story.
Bit creepy. What about the other one?
Lord of the Labyrinth.
Creepy?
A bit creepy as well.
Okay, right.
Yeah, they're both a bit creepy. A bit more adventure-y.
Okay.
Less creepy.
Yeah, so that's Mystery House. Enjoyed that. We'll be playing the other one. It's on our list to probably play through between Christmas and New Year. So very much enjoyed that.
It's a shame there isn't more in the box, really. Because once you've done both, and we're like, I want more now.
Yeah.
So better hurry up and get more out.
So moving on to a game that we both, from a game that we both liked, onto Undo. And I wasn't even sure whether to talk about this one or not, for 2 reasons. The first, I don't have anything good to say about this game. And the second, it's not really an escape room game or a puzzle game.
No, what is it then?
That's so what is it, and why are we including it in this video? It's because we've both played it, and I think it's trying to sell itself. If you look at this,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
And compare it to this, it's in the same size box with a very similar layout. And I think the marketing of it is to try and appeal to the same people that like these, which is us.
Yeah.
So we both got it, and we both played it.
It came out of Games Expo, didn't it?
I think UK
Lots
Games
of people
Expo.
were buying it, thinking it was an escape room game.
Yes.
I think that's true.
Now, there is a very well-known popular reviewer called Tom Vassell from the Dice Tower. And it is very rare that me and Tom agree with each other. I say very rare. Actually, we've been agreeing more and more. His video that he did for Undo is word for word what I would say about it. So if you want to see one of Tom Vassell's Dice Tower reviews for Undo, that is basically what I would say if I was to do a review of it. It is a game which takes 20 minutes to play.
Yeah.
It took us 20 minutes.
Not long.
It's advertised as 45 minutes. There's no puzzle.
45 to 90.
Yeah, 45 to 90. There's no puzzle in it. What happens is you've got this line of cards, which is a timeline. And the present day is somebody's died.
Yep.
For some reason. And then all of the other cards are back in time, either an hour, a day, a week, a month, 50 years or whatever. And you can travel around in time. You're weavers of fate or something.
Yeah.
And you're traveling around in time, and you're trying to prevent it from happening, which sounds cool. It kind of sounds like a cross between Time Stories and an escape room game.
Yeah.
Which is why I was really excited about it.
In fact, there's an unlocked scenario which does a similar kind of thing.
So I was really excited about it. I thought, go back, change time and stuff like this. But the reality of it is that you go back to one of the other moments in time and you read a little bit of blurb.
Like a tiny bit of blurb.
A few lines, very little. and then it asks you to make a choice of A, B, or C.
Like a keyword, isn't it? Choose one of the 3 keywords.
Yeah. And me and Vicky just played it, and we looked at each other and we
Why?
went, okay, so somebody's rushing out to post a letter, but they've realised they haven't got their keys. What do you do? Do you give them their keys so that they can get it out on time, hide their keys, or steal the letter? And we're like,
why would I choose any of them?
We don't know. Yeah. There was no clues. There was no hints. So we effectively picked one at random, and then you turn over the card and it says +1.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Like, okay.
So is that? I guess that's a good thing. And you do that like 9 times, and then you add up the numbers at the end, and that's it.
And then, like, did you succeed in saving the person's life?
That is
Who
it.
knows?
What we've just described is the game. Is go to 9 of the locations.
Yeah.
Because you've only got that amount of time.
But there's 14 locations or so, isn't there?
So you can't go to all of them. Then there's a nonsense magnifying glass system, which is just and then you basically turn over cards. So we basically made 9 random choices. Yeah. And then we added up the points at the end, and it said, "Oh, you didn't manage to do it this time. Go back and do it again." But which is why it says 45 to 90 minutes, because it's intended.
In the rulebook, it says, "Don't go back straight away. Have some time to think about it and discuss with your colleagues, whatever, and come back in about a week or something like that." It says,
didn't like it.
Are we going to do that? No, we're not going to do that.
But the people who did like it, I'm going to give what they said, because otherwise this is all just going to be negative. Because I know 2 people that enjoyed it. Most people I've spoken to, which is a lot, had the same opinion of us. Mm-hmm. But a couple of people I've spoken to really enjoyed it. And what they did is they spent 45 minutes playing it.
Chatting about everything.
Because they chatted about everything. Now, we did that too.
Yeah, I felt like I did that.
It's not that we just went there, read the thing and made a random decision. We talked about it for a good few minutes.
It's the character. There's a character who's died and you find out about his backstory and you're like, well, okay, why did he do this? Okay, so if I think that the woman was running out with a letter, maybe they're running a letter to post to him, so maybe I shouldn't go get the keys. Oh, okay, because we don't want him to get the letter. But then, does it get the letter? Does it kill him, or does it not get the letter?
Exactly.
So does it make a difference?
We did that. We did actually talk about it. The people who've enjoyed it said they really talked about it. They kind of did it a bit like a role play type thing, and they really talked about it, and they got involved in the decisions. And they enjoyed it.
Maybe we chose the wrong one. Maybe there's other ones that are better.
There were 3 of them available. I did one of them, hated it. Did the second one, hated it. So I'm not going to play anymore.
I've done one.
I'm done with those. We didn't get anything out of them. The actual story was an interesting story. Mm. And you could have just got that story just by reading the cards and going, oh yeah, there was a guy and he died because of this and that and that.
But if
that's an interesting story.
He would have survived.
Now, what would have been cool is if when you went back in time and you did something, instead of it being a card that says +1, it actually affected the rest of the story.
Yeah, it gave you a little bit of...
It changed something.
Yeah.
A little bit like
Take
time
that
stories.
card out.
Take that card out.
Swap that
Change
card
this card for that card. Because you stopped him sending the letter, because you stole it and you hid it away, that means that person didn't get the letter, and that actually affects the story. Now, I went away and I thought, I'm going to design my own game that uses this as a system, but with that mechanic where if you change something in the past, it has a ripple effect and changes it in the future. And after a few hours of thinking about it, realised it wasn't actually possible to design a game like that. Because it would have meant hundreds of cards, and it was a nightmare.
It's a big tree, isn't it? A branching tree.
Yes. But that would be cool. Anyway,
that would be cool.
We've talked a lot about a game we didn't enjoy.
Computer game.
Yeah. Next. Have you played that one?
Nope, you have.
I have. Let's talk about that one.
And there's adventure games, this one and that one.
Let's talk about adventure games, because we both played this.
Yep.
So this is from Cosmos. Same people who did Exit. And it's in the same size box.
It is. So what's the difference?
Well, there's 3 of them available, but only in German. In English, there's only 2 of them available. One's called Monochrome, which is somewhere.
At my house.
Is it? Oh, right, okay. So his house. And this one is the dungeon. Do you want to talk a bit first, and I'll read through the chat?
Well, the idea of the dungeon, less so than an escape room, is meant to be more like a point-and-click adventure game. Now, a point-and-click adventure game, obviously you go and solve puzzles, get items, normally go from one location to another to solve all the puzzles and escape, like an escape room. So it's used that kind of idea. But the difference with this to an escape room is that you have multiple locations that you can go from and back and towards, and then get items, use them in that location, go to that place. But you also have health, which is an interesting mechanic.
In the dungeon?
In the dungeon. Do you have the Monochrome?
You don't have health in Monochrome. It's something different.
Yeah, okay. Because in the dungeon, if you lose all your health, you can die.
Can you actually die?
Yeah.
But what happens when you die?
You have to start again.
You literally have to go all the way back to the start and start again.
Yep.
It's not just negative points at the end.
Nope.
Okay.
So it's an escape room where you can fail, which not very many. Normally, it's like a time thing, and then if you don't do it, you don't do it. With this, you can carry on, but you can die. But the idea is, the choices you make, depending whether do you open that door and the boulder falls on your head, or do you climb through the trap door and the boulder doesn't fall on your head. Therefore, you don't lose the health. So next time you play, the idea of these, you're meant to play them a few times, and they've got multiple endings.
Yeah.
So you might get one ending one time. You play it again next time. You choose different options. You get a different ending. So it can be meant to be playing 3 or 4 times because it's not as if you do it once and you solve all the puzzles.
You've played the dungeon, but you've not played Monochrome.
Correct.
And I've played Monochrome, and I haven't played the dungeon.
There you go.
So Monochrome has different endings.
Yeah.
But I think the whole game is the same up to the end.
Right.
And then at the end, you have a couple of choices which determine how the story ends. But for us, Monochrome, we wouldn't replay Monochrome.
Okay.
Because we've solved all of the puzzles, we got to the end.
Yeah, whereas I found I got to an end, but it wasn't a very good, inverted commas, ending for me.
Okay.
And what the things that I knew I needed to have to get the good ending, I hadn't even heard of or knew how to get them. So there was other paths I should have taken earlier where I'd have got different things.
Okay.
So when I play it again, I'll go that way and go different that way instead of that way and that way, because you make up a big map.
Right.
Of all the different locations in the dungeon.
So
it's very clever.
Same with this. Some of the cards are location cards, and they're big cards, and you will lay them out. It's kind of, it's an adventure game. It's not an escape room game. It has some sort of puzzles in there, sort of. But you are building up a map with the locations, and you have a figure, and it moves around the board, and you go to locations, and it is very much like, as Rick said, point-and-click computer games, where, you've got the empty glass bowl. Oh, and over there's a water tap.
Yeah.
So I'll combine that with that, and it'll say, remove card 17 and take card 33, which is bowl full of water.
Yeah.
And then if you use the bowl full of water later on, it'll say, get rid of card 33, take card 17. Oh, you've got an empty glass bowl again. It's all about combining object with location or combining 2 objects together. And that's how it works.
And it uses a number system, doesn't it? So your map tile will have a number on it saying 1, 2, 3, and you'll have your bowl of water, which is 17. What you do is you add 1, 2, 3, 17, and go to the adventure book, find 1, 2, 3, 17. It tells you what happens. Now, the problem is, I think you found with that is when you originally played it, was that if you look and 1, 2, 3, 17 didn't do what I wanted, but slightly above 1, 2, 3, 16 is your answer. You've scanned down and accidentally read it. Now, what they've done is released an app.
There is an app
that you type in 1, 2, 3, 16. It'll tell you.
Yeah. So
read it out to you.
There is an app for both of these, for Monochrome and for the dungeon, but it is optional because the game comes with a book. So you can play it on the beach without any kind of internet connection or anything like that. However, I just say, you combine 2 items together and then you look up that number in a book. And if you're looking for, what was the example you gave?
1, 2, 3, 17.
1, 2, 3, 1, 7. You literally have to look through the book and you're looking for that specific number, which means you're looking at the numbers. You can't, it's not like I'm not good at avoiding spoilers. It's you're looking at a list of numbers and you see 1, 2, 3, 1, 6. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 7 is not there. But
I've got 16.
I've
no,
seen
I know
1,
that
2,
works.
3, 1, 6. I can't not see it.
Yeah.
So I now know that item 12 combines with location 316.
Yeah.
Use the app. Fixes all the problems. You just put in 1, 2, 3, 1, 6 and it goes no. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 7 and it goes no. And therefore you've not had any spoilers.
Yeah.
Storyline wise, the amount of narrative in this game compared to
any of the others
is massive.
Yeah.
And that's another disadvantage if you're reading from the book, is there's a lot of reading. Whereas the app, you just sit there and let some voice actor.
I quite like doing the voices.
Well, okay.
I'm one of those people. I act it out.
Now, AJ is saying, how difficult is the adventure games compared to Exit? We are scratching our heads with Exit, the abandoned castle. Right.
Different.
There's no actual... So Exit is a series of logic puzzles, or, oh, look, there's a red circle. Circles have got one side. A green triangle's got 3 sides. Maths puzzles. There's no puzzles like the ones in the Exit games in adventure.
Very
games.
Small versions of them, if they are.
But it's like a point-and-click adventure game on the computer. Which, if you've not played any of them, it's a bit difficult to describe. But, and without giving any spoilers away, you might go to one location and there'll be stuff. But remember, you've got all of the locations that you can go to open to you, and you've got all of these objects, and you've got to work out which object would go with which location, and then you meet some characters and everything else. So it's more logical reasoning of how things would be rather than actual logic puzzles. For example, you've got this empty glass bowl, and there's a water tap over there, and there's a fire over there. And you go, I'll tell you what,
I can't get that to that.
I'll fill the bowl with water, and then I'll use the bowl of water to put out the fire. It's essentially that. It's a little bit more complicated than that. And one thing we found with Monochrome, we went into it expecting it was going to be a nice, easy, gentle point-and-click adventure game. And we got stuck on a few places.
Yeah, I did as well.
And we used the hint system, and the hint system told us something, and we were like, oh, yeah. And it's because there's clues in the narrative. So when you're reading or listening to the narrative, make sure you pay attention, because there are, that water tap that I mentioned might not actually be there on the map. It might just be referred to.
Right.
So,
I mean, I don't know what happens in the Monochrome one, but in this one as well, I did. You have the map tiles, and sometimes you put a card over the map.
Yep.
And then when things happen, that card can go.
Yep.
So things in the locations can come
change.
and go, which is quite clever.
Yeah, locations can change. Nigel Graves is here. Nigel is saying, are the Deckscape games still going?
I think so.
Yes, I mean, we talked about the Deckscape earlier on. They are still going. There's 8 or 9 of them available, I think, at the moment. It looks like they're still going, but I wasn't a big fan. David's here. Thank you very much, David. Mr. Digby, for joining in. Right, what else do we have to talk about? How are we doing for time, actually?
Did we do all of them?
We haven't. Oh, yeah. You've done that one. I've done that one. So at this point, you have that one for later on. I'm just going to hold this up for no reason at all. Everybody got that? I'm holding up this piece of paper for no reason at all. If you really don't know why I'm holding it up, go to the start of the video and watch from the start. Quick.
And fast forward, catch up with us.
Yeah. Yeah, how are we doing for time? No, it's 10 to 7. That's all right. So, Escape Tales Low Memory, which I have played.
Yep.
You haven't.
Nope.
This is the second of the Escape Tales games from Board and Dice.
But you've done videos, so I've watched your videos.
Yeah, well, I've done a video of the tutorial.
Yeah.
So, I haven't played the first one. The first one is called The Awakening. I haven't played it, but I did play a prototype of it. And I'm not really going to say what I thought about that prototype, because I know that they made some fairly major changes after I'd played it. So it's unfair of me to comment on the first one, but I can comment on this second one. Mm-hmm. So there's a tutorial which comes with the game, which takes about 20 minutes, and then it says 3 times 3 hours.
Wow.
Don't tell Vicky that.
That's a lot.
Because we're playing one over Christmas, and if she knows it's 3 hours, I said it was 90 minutes.
Gosh.
So,
because you haven't done any of the scenarios yet.
No. So the plan is, between Christmas and New Year, me and Vicky are going to do scenario number 1. You have to do them in order.
Mm-hmm.
And then on when am I doing it? Friday? Yeah. So what day is it now? Monday? So this Friday, I'm doing a live stream of Escape Tales Low Memory Scenario 1, which will be interactive, because I will have already played it. So I've already solved the puzzles, but I'm going to be doing it live so that anybody who's watching the show can basically play through Scenario 1. I will be asking you, where do you want to go, and you will be solving the puzzles. So that's this Friday. I think I've said 5 p.m.
I was going to say, if you've got like 3-4 hours for that.
But it says 3 hours. I might only do it for an hour and a half. Because I don't want to give, obviously, we want people to go out and buy the game. If I do live streams of all of them, nobody needs to actually buy it.
Well, people do that with computer games, though.
True.
A lot.
True. So, this was very much puzzles. There is a story, but there's a low amount of narrative. It's like a line or two.
I thought this was more narrative.
And then a puzzle. No, not much. And that's fine. That's fine. Because one of the problems I had with the first one is there was way too much narrative. But again, they might have fixed that since the prototype. The tutorial, I got told, Board and Dice said, do the tutorial, do it live, do a video for it. There's no spoilers, no story spoilers, right?
Okay.
So I thought the tutorial for that was going to be like the tutorial for Unlock.
Yeah.
Where
just
it's
a
10
room
minutes
in a box.
and you go through it, and it's really simple, and it literally tells you what to do, and it teaches you how to play. No. The tutorial of that, don't watch my video. If you haven't watched my video, don't watch my video.
No.
Because the tutorial is actually just a mini scenario. Sure, it teaches you how to play the game, but the puzzles in the tutorial are really good, proper puzzles. So I'm actually saying, for the first time ever, don't go and watch my video. If you want to get this game, if you're interested in it,
watch it after.
Yeah, watch it afterwards to see how I did, because I don't want to spoil those puzzles for you, and they're really good puzzles in the tutorial. So it's a bit more than a tutorial. It's like a short introductory scenario. But yeah, Escape Tales uses an action point system where you spend tokens to go to locations and you choose where to go.
Does it have like a grid of things?
Yeah, there's a grid, and then you put a counter on a grid and you refer to that page in the book and you read a short bit of narrative. So there is a story, and the story's quite good, but it's nice short bits of text.
Do you only have a set amount of actions?
You have a set amount of actions, and when those actions run out, you draw a stress card.
Oh, yes.
Now, in the tutorial, the stress card is like a little bit more story, have another 5 tokens.
Okay.
So, you know,
in the actual scenarios could be a lot different.
I don't know. I don't know what the stress cards do in the actual scenarios.
Now, the interesting thing I was going to ask you about this one is 16 plus as an age range. Is that because it's got more adult content?
We haven't talked about adult content.
Catacombs of Horror, that big one, that's 16
this
plus.
This says 16 plus on Catacombs of Horror. Certainly
Isn't it?
the ones from Mystery House, we said, was
14 plus?
14 plus, but they had a bit of a dark theme. Remember, the ages on boxes are not always the actual ages.
No,
But the fact that that's 16, because basically if you've got an age on a box that says 14 plus, you only have to pay for a certain amount of checks.
Okay.
If you reduce that down to 12, you have to pay various people a lot more money to have 12 plus. And if you go to 8 plus, you've got to pay a fortune, because it's going to be tested by lots of other publishers. The fact that it says 16 plus, I think they've made a conscious decision. Now, in the tutorial, I don't remember anything
too bad.
But we might start having all sorts of adult themes appearing later on. I don't know. I've not played it yet.
Yeah.
Have you played it? Let me know. Ben Scott says the first one was very, very narrative heavy. Yeah, that's what I found with it, and that was one of the issues I had with it. So, but they've changed their mind with this one. There's not much narrative in it. David Digby's going back to the beginning. We'll see you in 45 minutes, David. And Ben Scott says, I highly recommend doing it in at least 2 sittings. So yeah, there's no way I can convince Vicky to sit down for 3 hours. We'll do it for an hour and a half, maybe on Boxing Day, and then we'll just leave it set up, and then we'll come back to it probably the next day. But that's a good amount. If that is 3 3-hour sessions plus an hour for the tutorial, that's 10 hours of game in a box.
A lot of content compared to the others.
These are hour and a half.
Yeah. On a good
Adventure Games is 390 minutes. Actually, for us, it wasn't quite that.
That's expecting you to play through the whole game 3 times. Well, no, it's 3 scenarios, isn't it?
It's 3.
Oh, yeah, okay. So when we did it, I don't think it was 390 minutes at all.
Monochrome is 1 story, but it's divided into 3 chapters.
Yeah, it's because I did it pretty much all in 1 sitting. I did it in 2 sittings. First one was about 45 minutes. The next one was about an hour and a quarter. So
yeah, so you're reckoning 2 hours.
Yeah.
It says 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's not quite right. I think we did Monochrome in probably about 2.5 hours total.
Because the first one was a lot shorter. A was shorter than B, which in turn was shorter than C.
Unlock anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours.
Yep.
Whereas that, 10 hours. If it's true what it says on there,
if it's true,
3 times 3 hours, then that is a lot.
That could be similar to that. 3 times 90 out.
Could be.
3 times 3 hours.
Could be. Right, and Ben Scott says 16 plus is an accurate age range for the Escape Tales Awakening. Okay, for Awakening, yes.
Yeah.
Based on what I know about it, but Escape Tales Low Memory, who knows? Who knows? Now we've got another one on camera here, because I bought this from a friend of mine, Chris, because he was selling it and I haven't played it, but neither of us have played it.
No.
So we can't really talk
I've
about
wanted
this
to play it for a while.
This one's been out a while.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the original ones.
Dispose of batteries safely. Oh,
what?
Hello.
It's got batteries in it.
Must have.
Oh, right, okay.
Includes
so this is called,
LR44 batteries.
What's it called? Escape Room in a Box.
The Werewolf Experiment.
Yeah, I've heard about this for a long time. Escape Room in a Box, The Werewolf Experiment.
2017.
Oh, okay. So after the exit games then. But who's that by? Publisher, Mattel, Stay at Home Werewolves. It's a small company. I've seen them in Essen, and I think they've done a couple of other ones. But yeah, not played that.
Mattel Games. Is that the same as the toy company?
That's still the same as the toy company. I'm just going to go to the BGG Guild and find out what other things people have been posting in. So Ben Alvarez says he's yet to play any of these games, but planning an event where 4 of us will be playing in January. It's overwhelming, though, to know where to start. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the best one to get started that you can play through in an adventure in less than 3 hours.
Well, they're all less than 3 hours, luckily enough.
Yeah, but I would go for one of the exits,
But you can do a bunch.
Or one of the unlocks.
If you've got 3 hours, you could do an exit, you could do an unlock.
Yeah, if you've got 3 hours...
Don't do an undo on our Deckscape.
No. I mean, my recommendation would be, if you like point-and-click adventure games with a story, go for this. If you want puzzles, go for exit or unlock. That would be my...
An exit, an unlock, and a mystery house.
You can't do all of them in 3 hours.
Yes. Just about.
Just do one. As for which exit...
Only did the earlier ones.
Yeah, I don't know. They're all good. Dead Man and the Orient Express is a good one. Abandoned Cabin is a good one. Abandoned Cabin is the one we did with no hints.
Yeah.
The Egyptian one we did with about 12 hints because we were really tired. It was good. Unlock. I would probably go for box. I'd go for box 4, 5, or 6, and I would do the first scenario in those boxes. I certainly wouldn't jump in. Like, you don't want to buy box 1 and do the island as your first scenario. The island was brilliant, but it took us 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. I loved it. But you don't want to do that for your first one.
Definitely not.
And definitely, if you get unlocked, definitely do the tutorial. Take you about 10 minutes.
It's easy.
But it's easy and it will teach you how to play the game. So
I think it depends on the people you want to play with. If they've got a specific, if they're into computer games, if they're into certain things, maybe tailor the escape room around the person you're doing with. If you've got, they're all into computer games, get the insert coin unlock. They'll really enjoy the references and things like that.
If they love Sherlock Holmes, do the Sherlock Holmes one.
If they're Egyptologists.
So Chris told us about sustainability.
Yep.
Obviously. Jamie Maltman says that he's played Unlock and Deckscape. Oh, sorry, he's just saying Unlock and Deckscape are perfectly resettable. An exit, he will colour it in to avoid cutting it out. Stephen Cooper says, yeah, most of them have a soft 1 hour time limit. Yeah, so the time limits, when you use the app for Unlock, which you have to do, after 60 minutes, the time runs out.
Yep, and sometimes when you do things wrong, it'll go and
you'll lose
time penalty.
Yeah. Do we care? No. Right, we don't stop playing after 60 minutes.
Nope.
We carry on playing. The 60 minutes is a soft time limit.
Yeah.
You can play them as long as you want. The exit games, it says start a clock and set it to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah, we never do.
No.
We always play it as if we're under time pressure.
Yeah, because you want to fix the puzzles.
Because we want that kind of excitement and pressure as we're in an escape room. But we don't, if the time runs out, we just carry on playing.
Mystery House as well. When we finished that, we were 10 minutes over, so we were an hour and 10 minutes in. So we had a star rating which was 0 stars.
Okay.
Because we used so many hints and stuff.
So it just affected the score.
It was fun to play, so I didn't care.
Yeah. And Phil Pettifer said on the BGG Guild, 50 clues, and there's 3 of them, The Pendulum, White Sleep, and Fate of Leopold, were unusual in the dark content of the game.
So I wonder what age rating they are.
Let's have a look. So yeah, it's another one that neither of us had heard of until Phil posted about it.
They sound interesting.
But these are from Norska Games, and there's 3 of them available, and it says 16 plus.
16 plus as well.
But I like all of these types of games, so I want to get more of them.
We'll have to try them.
Yeah, right. Back to the Facebook chat. Not the Facebook chat, the YouTube chat. We have Vicky, that sounds great with the interactive game. Yep, that'll be the Escape Tales. That's this Friday, 5 o'clock. I think it's 5 o'clock. AJ's watching on double speed playback to catch up. Speaking of catching up, Rick's going to hold up a piece of paper for no reason at all. Jim Tompkins. Ah, yes. Thank you, Jim. The Van Ryder games, illustrated choose-your-own adventure books. Right, keep them talking. I'm going to go and get them because I've got them and completely forgot to include them in this video. So I'm going to go and get them now.
I'll talk about something else. I'll just start juggling. Yes, what haven't we talked about? Yeah, we've pretty much talked about everything. I mean, what's people's favourite games that they've played out of all of these? I mean, I like The Mystery House, for its new thing, that's new and exciting stuff. I want to try the Escape Room Books Way Off experiment because I think it comes with these battery-operated locks, which sound interesting. I love the Unlock series because I've done them the most. I need to do some of the newer exits, I think. And I've got 1 or 2 still at home to play, but I need to get some more done. Hello, you're back.
I'm back.
That was quick.
Yeah, well, I knew where it was. It's on the bookshelf.
This looks interesting.
So this is a series of graphic adventure novels from Van Ryder Games. And these aren't available in the UK. I had to pick these up when I was in America. So graphic novel adventures. This is series 1.
Okay.
Series 2, I believe, was on Kickstarter earlier this year, I think. And what it is, we'll lend these to you when we're done. It's a series of 5 things, and they are graphic novels, but graphic novel adventures. So without giving too many spoilers away, yeah, you can see it's a graphic novel. But there's puzzles in there for you to solve along the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so exactly the kind of thing that we both like.
What's that other one you've lent me? Is a similar one.
I've just not got around to doing them. So there's the Sherlock Holmes one, there's Your Town, which is a cowboy one, Captive, Tears of a Goddess, Loup Garou. But anyway, yeah, graphic novel adventures from Van Ryder Games, and apologies for not having that in, but thank you very much to Jim for mentioning that.
You've lent me another one with the pirates. There's one where you play it, you each have your own graphic novel and you're reading through the story.
Oh, Crusoe Crew.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Yeah, I've got it.
All right.
You gave it to me.
I was going to get that. So that's also from Van Ryder Games.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Which is a similar sort of system, but there's 4 books included.
You all have your own book.
And you each have your own book.
Which sounds cool.
Because with these, the downside of these is these are really for solo play.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Vicky will do them together, but I can't imagine doing them because you're passing a book around.
No.
That doesn't really work. Ori is here in the chat. If you like point-and-click adventure games with a story, play a point-and-click adventure game with a story. Yeah, but there is something nice about sitting at a table with bits and not... Yeah.
Do it in board game format.
Do it in board game form. Miguel is saying, how would some of these compare to Sherlock Holmes, The Thames Murders? Yeah, I didn't include that, but when we were talking about narrative
puzzles
driven games earlier on, I was going to mention it. So I don't know if you know Miguel, but I'm a massive fan of the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective series. I got it when it first came out in 1983, and I've been playing it with every group that I've been a member of for the last 35 years. I was also lucky enough to be the editor of the latest Space Cowboys versions of them. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of them. How do they compare?
Different.
Yeah, I don't think any of them do.
No, the puzzles are different style of puzzle completely.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm really struggling to find. I think if you forced me at gunpoint to say which of these compares the most, it would probably be this.
Moving locations.
You move around locations. There's a lot of narrative, and there are clues within the narrative. But there's no puzzles in the Sherlock Holmes game for you to solve. It's just the
finding information, and then linking information together.
But
that's all you.
I love them, and I love these. So I think similar kinds of people will like similar kinds of games.
It's solving a mystery. I love mysteries.
There's a Victoria Howard here that says she wants to play them. So yeah, you can
play them then.
In fact, if you want to borrow, because we're not going to play through all of these. If you wanted to borrow,
I've got Crusoe Crew.
Yeah, well, we thought we might do that together. I don't know, but yeah, if there was any of these you wanted to borrow, over Christmas, let me know. Because yeah, I'm not going to do any. Is there a Cthulhu-based escape room? Says Adam.
Oh,
that's a very good point, because Cthulhu is such an overdone theme in everything you see. I don't think there is.
Well, there's Mythic Tales, which again are looking for
Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes.
But there isn't.
I don't think there is, and that's really odd.
That is odd.
Because it is
quick. Let's release one.
Yeah, quick. Turn off the video. Let's go and design one. They must be dead easy. Jay is saying that he thinks escape room games are logic puzzles, whereas Sherlock is about leaps of deduction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely leaps of deduction.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Matt's saying, what would you suggest for heavy narrative solo puzzle games? Well, we've just been talking about Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
Heavy narrative.
Which is heavy narrative, but doesn't have any puzzles, but it has deduction. So next time I see you, Matt, or just look it up on BGG, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detectives, you want the brown box, which is the Thames Murders.
Yep.
Which is the first 10 cases.
And the red one is the
Jack the Ripper and the West End Adventures. Don't get the blue box, I'm afraid to say.
Carlton House and Queen's Park box set?
That's it, yeah. The blue box. So I was the editor for the brown box and the red box. I wasn't the editor for the blue box. I'm not sure what Space Cowboys did. But then after the blue box, they brought me back on as the editor for the next one.
Yeah.
Franglais is a term. And Franglais is all through the blue box, unfortunately. Yeah. Mythic Tales is Cthulhu based. Yeah, but Mythic Tales isn't really a...
There is another one. It's a white box and it's got him on the front. Is it Cthulhu Tales or... No, what is it? Something. Oh, I can't remember what it is now.
No. Right, so back to the Facebook group chat from earlier on. We've had Richard is saying about some of the exit games are difficulty. Yep, we talked about that. What did we say about Ian? So Ian says that Unlock has definitely got better recently.
Yay.
The third box that he was quite disappointed by. Yep. Escape Tales: The Awakening was good, but being punished for exploring felt bad. Yeah, that is a point. You're using up these time counters and you kind of, oh, do I want to go there? Do I want to look at that? It's going to cost me time.
Yep.
And I'm like, I want to go everywhere. I want to see everything.
Well, that's like, detective. In that kind of thing, you're running out of time to do stuff. You want to go everywhere you can't.
And you can only go to...
I
wasn't keen on that. Deathscape I didn't like much at all. Thank you, Ian. They're easier and the puzzles just aren't interesting. Yeah, as I say, one of them was a spot the difference contest thing. Ben Rowe says, I found the Exit series a little on the abstract side. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah,
the theme is sort of there, but when you actually get to the puzzle, it's just an abstract maths puzzle.
Yeah, Unlock didn't really have that kind of... It's more linked to the theme.
Yeah, Unlock, the puzzles are definitely more linked to the theme. Benny's saying that he enjoyed Abandoned Cabin and Dead Man on the Orient Express. Dead Man on the Orient Express is really good.
Yeah, I've done that
Really enjoyed that one. Innovative puzzles and the immersion was higher than the other two. Secret Lab just felt like easy puzzles. Unlock is his favourite series overall. The Pirate one was particularly good and he really liked the Oz one. We did the Wizard of Oz one, didn't we? Oh, we did the Alice in Wonderland one.
The Alice in Wonderland one.
Don't think we did
Wizard of Oz.
No. Benny's also saying that he thought Escape Tales was the best system and had the best stories. Although the puzzles are solid fun and well linked to the stories. But the settings otherwise they lacked the wow factor. And the endings felt a bit anticlimactic. Right? Andy Pelton is also saying that they finished the 50 Clues game and were quite good. So we'll definitely have to try them.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll contact the publisher about them as I'd never heard of them until today. Andrew was also played the first of the Escape Tales games, which was interesting. Multiple paths, good puzzles. Needs the website to work. Yeah, we didn't mention that. But the Escape Tales games, it's not an app, it's a website.
Yeah,
so
like Journal 29.
You need an internet connection to do it, whereas Unlock requires an app, but you can play it offline. You don't need a live internet connection, whereas Escape Tales you do. You go to the website, you punch in the answer to a code, and it gives you the next thing to do.
Like Detective, you need
like
a live website.
Philip Byrne says they've only played this first Escape Tales game, which they thoroughly enjoyed. Only plus side after finishing it was nothing had been destroyed. So yeah, nothing gets destroyed in this. In fact, of all of these games we've shown, it's only the exit games where something gets destroyed.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know about this because we haven't opened it.
But you've bought it second hand.
I assume Chris wouldn't have sold it to me if all the bits were cut up.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, and there we go. Right, so I've caught up with all of the comments that were asked beforehand. Ben says there's a Cthulhu-based time stories. Yeah, we discussed yesterday whether we're going to talk about time stories here. We decided not to.
I wrote it down on the thing.
But we probably should. Because what Ben's saying is...
It's like an escape room.
Time stories was what made all of these escape rooms popular. Is that true?
Time stories is like an escape room. You have a series of puzzles. You work out the storyline, you get to the end, you resolve the puzzle.
Puzzles?
Yeah.
There's a puzzle in the first one, and there's a puzzle in the fifth one. Other than that, I wouldn't have said there were any puzzles, using my definition of puzzle. But yeah,
like
there's no escape room style puzzles in the Time Stories games, apart from in Asylum.
Yeah.
And the...
Which one?
The one set in Spain in the 14th century.
That
one. There's a puzzle. There's one puzzle in both of those.
Is that one or that one? Yeah, more similar to the adventure games.
Yeah, so Time Story is definitely narrative driven, definitely story driven, definitely working stuff out, definitely moving between locations. But with the fact that you have combat, you have dice rolling, you can reset.
Yeah.
You have to reset because you play it.
You've got a certain time.
But what Benny's saying is very interesting in that he's saying that it's Time Stories that made all of these popular.
I think it's escape rooms themselves that have made these popular.
Okay.
Physical-based escape rooms, because they've obviously burgeoned up and gone all over the place. Every city's now got one, or two or three. And it's that kind of experience that people want to have at home, I guess.
But Time Stories, the original Time Stories was 2015.
Okay.
So it predates Exit. So I see what you're saying, Ben. I think it might be, I think Cosmos or certainly the designers of the Exit game were probably thinking of doing them outside of Time Stories. Maybe they weren't. But yeah, Time Stories was 2015, and the popularity of Time Stories, even though I know a lot of people don't like it, but it was very popular. And the new version is just out.
Okay.
This
yes,
week.
the new Time Stories.
Yeah. Asmodee should be, Space Cowboy should be winging me a copy through Asmodee if they reply to my emails.
Have to borrow it.
You will have to borrow it. And he says there's a couple of puzzles in the Cthulhu one as well. Okay, so which is the Cthulhu? Oh, that one. Yeah. Expedition Endurance.
Oh, okay. Is that a Cthulhu kind of one, is it? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You go to Antarctica. If you know anything about any of the H.P. Lovecraft stories,
okay,
then it's basically that. Predates Exit, Unlock, and Unlock is the same company. Yeah, it is the same company.
Space Cowboys.
Yeah, Space Cowboys. Right. We're done with everything that we wanted to talk about. We've been about an hour and a quarter, which is about the time we wanted to talk about.
Yep.
But we can still chat. If you've got any questions on Facebook or chat, or Facebook or YouTube, let me know. Jay's saying, Prophecy of Dragons for Time Stories, our group fluked about the best pathway through in the first loop. Bit of a muddle as to what was going on with the meta plot.
So do we, because you spent like 100 years doing that one, whereas we did it really quickly.
Prophecy of Dragons is my least favourite of the Time Stories adventures. It's Jamie Stegmaier's most favourite game. The reason why it's my least favourite is Prophecy of Dragons in Time Stories is not a Time Stories adventure.
It's more. Was it more combat?
It's just an adventure.
Yeah.
Right. What makes Time Stories great for me is the fact that you can never do it in one run, but in that run you learn the dragon's behind the red door. The cook's got the key, but she won't give us the key until she's had 3 ham sandwiches, and we can get the ham sandwiches from over. Right. Okay. We know that now.
Yeah. I felt like that's what that's like.
So we reset. We play it again, but this time we go and get the 3 ham sandwiches. Then we go to the cook, we get the key. Then we don't open the red door. Then we use the key to get the right, and you learn. And in Prophecy of Dragons, it's just an adventure game.
Right.
There's no real learning where to go. It's an adventure game with 3 different routes through, and that's it. And it was very combat heavy, and it was very dice rolling. It was just a fantasy adventure game. So the people who like that, great, but it's not really Time Stories. It's Jay's least favourite too. So there we go. Me and Jay agree. Paul Linkhow is here. Interesting discussion. Thank you very much. If you've got any questions about anything, bearing in mind there's a 25-second delay on the chat.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we've covered everything that we've played. And as I mentioned right at the start, there's other ones available.
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, Tesco and random places. I went to Darnell Mill.
Yeah.
Place sells curtains and
yeah.
And they had a gift section. And they had Escape Room the game, not like this one or anyone I've heard, just like a really random, made by who knows who, cheapy version for like £6. And all it was going to be in it was a load of puzzles and
Escape Room the game, 2016.
Is it that? Well, could be something different.
Is it that?
No, that's the good-looking one.
Okay, right.
So this is, I don't even know what. I doubt it's on BGG.
Yeah, there is another one by Ronald McDonald. Not that one. He probably gets that all the time.
I want to get this.
Yeah, this is by, well, it says Cranio, ADC Blackfire Cranio.
That's an early one as well.
That is 2016. So that's Escape Room the game. There's loads of them. There's loads of them out there. Kenny's here saying enjoyed the discussion. Thank you very much for joining in. Jonesy 1977, Prophecy of Dragons was our favourite. There you go.
There you go.
Look how you can gear up differently from run to run. Yeah, there were 3 totally different routes in. So yeah, you could replay it. You could go down the magic route, or you could go down the fighting route, or you could go down the sneaky route. I think there was 4.
And then you just fluke it the first time, and it's like, job done. Just dice rolls.
So what are your favourite unlock scenarios personally? Good question. Because I've played
loads of them.
I think I've played 14 or 15 of them.
Yeah, it's got 15 or 18 or whatever we've done now.
So I kind of have lost track.
Sherlock Holmes one was really good.
The Sherlock Holmes one was really good, but I'm a bit of a Sherlock Holmes fan.
Yeah.
That was created by Dave Neal, who's a UK guy, who's a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. Dave Neal is actually the author of Box 4 of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, the Baker Street Irregulars. So yeah, the Sherlock Holmes one was good.
There was one.
I liked the island. The island is one of the early ones. It's the one that requires 2 teams of people. It took us a bit long, but I did enjoy the island. Squeak and Sausage, definitely not. That was one of the ones from the first one. Nautilus, definitely not.
What are the ones? I'm trying to remember again what they
are. I don't think I've done the Oz one. And I've not done...
The one that's in Exotic Adventures of the girl and the bed.
I've not done that yet.
That one was really good.
No, I've got that box somewhere and I've not done that one.
Yeah. That one was really clever.
Unlock Temple of Ra. That was a downloadable one. There's a few downloadable ones for Unlock, which you can print off and do yourself. Unlock In Pursuit of Cabrakan. I've no idea what that is.
2018?
Yeah, don't know. Probably a free one. One of the ones from Box 7, which isn't out yet. In fact, all 3 were good.
Yeah.
What was the one from Box 6 with the time travel? That was good.
That one was really clever.
There's a time travel-y one in Box 6.
Again, I don't remember the actual names of them.
No.
We didn't we did edit the name of it. But
we did. But I can't remember what it was.
But yeah, that was really clever.
I really enjoyed that one.
Because you had a
Timeless Adventures, that was it.
You had like a sort of board where you put things, didn't you, as well? And they changed depending on what time frame you're in. It was quite clever.
Yeah. Lost in the Chrono Warp.
Of course.
That was it. Yeah. So we did that one.
Insert Coin was really good.
Insert Coin was good. That was like based on 80s computer games.
Yeah.
That was quite good. That used the augmented reality quite a bit.
Oh yeah, the new one with
the new
augmented reality.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
That was good.
I really enjoyed that one.
What
actually.
was that one called?
That's I don't want to say anything because it's new.
Well, it's called Epic Adventures, and it's Mission 7.
Mission 7.
So there's Box 7, which will be out I think next year.
Yeah.
There's 3 scenarios in there, and the French name is on here, which is the.
Oh yes, I remember now.
There's the one that's set in the black and white B movies.
Oh yeah, that one.
There's that one. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
The second one was the Japanese 7 Trials.
Oh yeah, no, that was good as well.
And then the third one was the Secret Agents Mission number 7. So all 3 scenarios from Box 7 were
great.
Were good. They were really enjoyable.
You're gonna enjoy them.
As we said at the start, we helped edit them.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop our enjoyment of the game. Apart from obviously when we came across bits that were broken, which we then had to fudge the answers, but we've hopefully fixed them, so it's good for you.
I mean, the Circus one was all right.
Circus one was quite good as well. Jay's saying the Western one with a physical element was a nice change too. Yeah.
Throwing bullets.
Yeah, throwing bullets. The thing that, because obviously there's an app for Unlock with a 60-minute timer, but in the Western one, something happens at a certain time.
It does.
You've got to keep an eye on the timer because at a certain point in there, something will happen. Whereas Ben says he hated the cowboy one. Yeah, I can see. Throwing the things was a little bit out of place with the unlock scenarios.
A little bit fourth wall again, isn't it? You're not actually doing things. You're doing things out of the scenario.
It was all right. It was all right. It was a bit of fun. I played it with Travis Hill and his wife Lindy when they came to stay. So he'd never played any of them. So that was the first one he played and he loved it.
Okay.
It was just, I can see what you're saying, Ben. And if we didn't have company, I'd have gone, do we need to bother doing this? It's like, here's a couple of minutes, throw these at the things until you knock them down. And it's like, oh, what, is that it? But it was all right.
Where to start with the exit?
Yeah, Jonesy's saying where to start with the exit. Abandoned cabin is the one. Brett's also saying abandoned cabin is the one.
Yeah, I probably agree.
Yeah, abandoned cabin I think is the first one that we played. Played it with my parents a few years ago.
Better than Secret Lab.
I think it's better than Secret Lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with abandoned cabin as the first one, and then I'd possibly go with the Dead Man and the Orient Express because of the. It's quite different. It's got a story element to it, and you're actually trying to piece together a.
Don't lend me any of the exit ones because you won't.
Because you'll burn them. You'll burn them. So Paul Cheng is here. Came in late. Did you guys talk about Deckscape? We did.
A little
if you
bit.
Rewind. You can watch it later on, either on Facebook or YouTube. We talked about Deckscape earlier on. Short answer is I wasn't a big fan of it. Rick liked it a bit better than me.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay, but no, with all of the other ones out there. But yeah, for a full rundown on what we said about Deckscape, rewind a bit.
I mean, if you can pick them up cheap second-hand for a £5, worth it for an hour's worth of entertainment.
For me, no.
Yeah.
No, I prefer to
poke your eyes out.
Poke my eyes out with a rusty spoon for $4.99, I think, instead. And Benny's saying that Orient Express was his favourite exit one.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a good one. But as he says, it shows how much more is possible with the unlock games.
Yes.
Because of the app. With the exit games, you are limited to the physical components in there and what you can do with them. Whereas unlock,
the augmented reality, the app things, because you have some which play sound, and you have certain things you to do, and you can. Yeah, it's just really clever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that one where you have to listen to something, and then yeah.
I don't want to. I want to say it, but I also don't want to say it.
There's sounds and there's things in the sounds that you've got to listen to. But yes, I think we're done. I think we've talked about everything. I planned to do this video about a year ago.
Yeah, you asked me to do it. I was like,
I asked Rick about a year ago. At some point next year, I'm going to do a video on escape room games, and I'm kind of glad we waited.
Well, there's a lot more.
Because we've waited, we've got Mystery House,
we've
got the adventure games, we've got Undo, we've got Escape Tales, we've got twice as many. Initially, I was just going to do Exit, Unlock and Deckscape.
Yep.
But in the last year, a whole host more has come out, and we've had more.
Right.
So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, for your thoughts and for your preparation. And remember, there's a 4-digit code. If you've watched this video from the start, and if you haven't watched this video from the start, rewind. You would have got clues during this video to a 4-digit code.
You're going to give people some time.
Yeah. If you email me, so you've got tonight to watch the video. If you email me, in fact, I might do it on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it on Christmas Day. I'll do the draw on Christmas Day. So you have until Christmas Day to send me an email with the answer to the 4-digit code. paul.grogan@outlook.com. If you're a patron supporter, mention that in the email, and then I'll draw. If you're a patron supporter, you get 2 entries into the contest. Let's just see. We have had some emails.
Oh, we? What, straight away? The first 5 minutes?
We have had an email from Carl.
Okay.
24 minutes ago.
Possibly.
Which I think might be the time when you held up
something.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting a few live chat codes here, and the ones we're getting in are all correct.
So far.
So
there we go.
We'll make it more cryptic then.
This is a Deckscape puzzle brought to you by...
This is a Deckscape puzzle. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of puzzles we're having Deckscape. Jonesy said, great discussion. Quite a jungle to get into. I hope it was useful for everybody. And yes, thank you for everybody for all of the comments on the Facebook group ahead of time and on the BGG Guild. Thank you for everybody for joining in live, and thank you for everybody joining in who's watching this afterwards. I have no idea why my mouse is, so that I can switch over to the closing screen. Say goodbye, Rick.
Bye-bye.
Cheers all.
Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.